You think Saturn is the jewel of the solar system. Millions of eyes gaze at its shimmering rings, unaware they are staring straight into a monster's mouth. Behind the golden veil lies a nightmare. This is the Lord of Chaos, an ancient entity that does not just orbit the sun, it rules through terror. It is not a planet. It is a cosmic tyrant, a version of Cronus sitting on a throne of shadow, holding his kingdom together with broken chains. He is the father who devours his own children. Every moon that ventures too close is ritualistically torn apart to fuel his eternal magnificent vanity. The Lord of Chaos demands sacrifice. Gravity here is not a force of nature, it is a predator's grip, crushing solid rock into cosmic dust. Can you feel it? The slow, rhythmic pulse of a giant that has watched the birth of stars and the death of worlds from its dark throne. 100 million years ago, a moon named Chrysalis got too close. In just a few hours, the Lord of Chaos literally shredded it to pieces. The rings are not jewelry. They are the pulverized remains of a world that once was, a graveyard wider than the orbit of the Earth itself. Imagine flying through this cemetery. Trillions of icy shards, the ghosts of a dead moon, spinning forever in a trap of gravity and cold silence. Every shadow cast by those rings is a reminder of the slaughter. A tomb of ice reflecting the sunlight to hide the darkness within its heart. If you touched these rings, you wouldn't feel soft snow. You would be sliced by jagged blades of frozen history moving faster than any bullet. From a distance, and it looks like perfection. Up close, it is a battlefield where the debris of a broken world fights for a place in the void. The Lord of Chaos is never satisfied. He continues to grind the bones of his former moons until they are nothing but microscopic grains of dust. This is the beauty of a predator. Like a spider's web woven from diamonds, it attracts the eye just before it entangles and destroys the soul. This graveyard is so vast it could swallow our entire world and still have room for more. We are nothing compared to this ancient icy tomb. But the rings are just the surface. Deep at the North Pole lies something that shouldn't exist. A perfect geometric hexagon storm, a vortex of madness. It is the eye of the Lord, a storm wider than two Earths, spinning with a mathematical precision that defies everything we know about nature. And inside that geometric prison, winds howl at impossible speeds. It has been staring at the stars for centuries, unblinking, unchanging, and utterly terrifying. The auroras are not friendly lights. They are the electromagnetic screams of a planet being tortured by the solar wind and its own massive power. Imagine falling into that eye. The geometry of the storm would be the last thing you see before the pressure turns your body into liquid. Each bolt of lightning is 10,000 times more powerful than anything on Earth. It is a forge of chaos, hidden in a perfect shape. Why a hexagon? Science struggles for answers, but the soul knows the truth. It is the signature of a creator who loves cold, hard logic. The Lord of Chaos breathes through this vortex, exhaling the heat of its core into the freezing vacuum of the outer solar system. And it is a drain at the top of the world, a gateway to a depth that no human light can ever hope to fully penetrate or understand. In this realm, the air itself becomes a weapon. The clouds are solid walls of death, moving with a purpose we can only fear. Enter the atmosphere and you enter a meat grinder. Grains of sand become bullets and the wind moves faster than a supersonic jet. The air is a toxic soup of ammonia and death. You wouldn't just suffocate, the very chemistry of the planet would melt your suit instantly. As you sink, the pressure becomes a physical weight. It would crush a nuclear submarine like an empty soda can in a matter of seconds. But here is the most beautiful horror. It rains diamonds. The extreme pressure turns carbon into solid gems that fall through the clouds like fire. but in a rain of wealth that would kill you instantly. Each stone is a lethal projectile, a sparkling bullet from the heart of the Lord of Chaos. Deep enough, the gas becomes a liquid metal ocean, a world of crushing heat and electricity where the laws of physics begin to break down. The core of this beast is a furnace of unimaginable power. It generates more heat than it receives from the sun, a self-sustaining engine of doom. If you stood at the center, you would be smaller than a grain of sand, crushed by the weight of 1,000 Earths above you. The winds never stop. They are a perpetual motion machine of violence, carving the planet's face into the beautiful striped nightmare we see from afar. This is the duality of Saturn, a golden paradise from the outside, a crushing diamond-raining hell on the inside, a true kingdom of chaos. And then there are the survivors. The Moon Titan, a world of gasoline lakes and orange smog where it rains fuel instead of water. Titan is a dark mirror of Earth, a place where life might exist, but a kind of life so alien it would find our world poisonous. Enceladus, the frozen moon, screams into the void. It sprays geysers of salt water into space, feeding the very rings that mark its siblings' graves. It is a slow death. The Lord of Chaos bleeds his moons dry, taking their water to polish his shimmering, icy crown for eternity. Listen, the Cassini spacecraft captured the sounds of Saturn, eerie radio whispers from the auroras that sound like the ghosts of the moons crying out. Every moon is a prisoner. They dance on the edge of destruction, knowing that one day they too will be pulled into the Master's embrace. And the magnetic field is a web of invisible chains. It links the Lord of Chaos to every satellite, a constant tug of war for their very souls. In this system, nothing is safe. It is a grand celestial machine designed to recycle matter into beauty and beauty into terrifying power. Even the moon, Mimas, bears the scars of this chaos. A giant crater like a hollow eye, a permanent mark of a near-death experience. They whisper from the darkness, a chorus of frozen worlds waiting for their turn to be fed into the furnace of the gas giant. But here is the darkest truth of all. The Lord of Chaos is not just a killer. He is a suicide. The rings are dying. 10 tons of ring material fall into the planet every single second. It is called ring rain, and it is the sound of a kingdom dissolving. In less than 100 million years, the rings will be gone. The greatest beauty in our sky is merely a fleeting moment of destruction. The Lord of Chaos is devouring his own crown. The very thing that makes him a god is the very thing he is destroying. Even a god cannot escape entropy. The beauty we see today is a death rattle, a glorious end to a billion-year-old feast. Saturn isn't scary because it wants to kill us. It's scary because it is a witness to its own inevitable silent disappearance into the dark. Dust to dust, the bones of the moons, the ice of the rings, all of it will eventually be swallowed by the planet or lost to the void. This is the cycle of chaos. To create something beautiful, something else must be destroyed. To maintain the throne, the king must eat his crown. And we are lucky to live in the brief window of time when the Lord of Chaos still wears his crown of bone and ice. We are not the masters of this universe. We are just dust motes drifting through a kingdom where time and gravity are the only true laws. In the presence of the Lord of Chaos, our world feels like a fragile dream, a temporary sanctuary in a realm of beautiful, indifferent madness. One day, perhaps even our home will become a shimmering fragment in some other cosmic ring, a memory etched in ice and shadow. The Lord of Chaos will remain, unblinking and unfeeling long after our voices have faded into the silence of the expanding universe. Which planet keeps you awake at night? Tell us in the comments. Like this video if the Lord of Chaos made your blood run cold. Subscribe to explore the darkest secrets of the cosmos. And don't let the beauty fool you. The universe is much scarier than you think.